Hey everyone, this is Clint, and I may have changed my mind on a topic. Not really changed. My opinion has been more refined because of a video that I saw come out by from Comics from Perch. I'll show you his YouTube channel. Before we get into that, Fatal is the next big thing. Everyone's going to want this. I'm not even exaggerating. Everybody's going to want this comic, and you can join the sign up. You can join my mailing list, or you can join this pre-launch page to be in the know as soon as the thing goes live. We're finishing off Downcast, and yeah, this is going to be next, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be huge. Also, by the way, Downcast Rise and Fall is one backer away from $37,000. Cannot believe it. It's been so great. So thank you very much for your support, everyone. Okay, so this is the video I watched. It's Comics by Perch. Perch, he's a reasonable guy. I've watched maybe a few of his videos, and this is video on Warren Ellis. Now, this is not just Warren Ellis, just to fill you in on what has been going on. I've been looking at this since yesterday. I've been thinking about making a video of it, and honestly, I've just been busy, so I kind of haven't. But my initial response is always, whenever I hear somebody is accused of just, insane sexual perversion or something, normally I think, now, is this being used on the internet as a weapon in order to control people? How much of this is true? How much of it is not true? And when you look into it, a lot of the time, it's not true. And the same thing goes with accusations of racism, like many kinds of accusations, all right? Social ills that there are no real world consequences for, or at least not perceived real world consequences. It's more of a social consequence. Anytime I see one of those kinds of accusations come out, I get, I don't know, I'm suspicious. I'm very suspicious. So a bunch of comic book pros posted a list of accused comic book perverts. Okay, people that have done things on one end of the spectrum. I'm not going to go over the name of the list of people in specific, but on one of this end of the spectrum, you have somebody that is actually in prison for said crimes. And then you have people that I've never heard of before. You also have big names, people like Warren Ellis. I think he's perhaps maybe the biggest name on there. Lots of people that have been accused of some terrible things. Now, I don't know if I'm naive or something. I hear people say that, oh yeah, that's what men do. That is how most men act in every industry. I don't believe that at all. I know a lot of men that I'm a man. I know a lot of men. They don't try to get women to do this, and I will give you this. Quid pro quo pro. I can't even speak. That, I think, is a minority of people that would do that. And in most industries, if you do that, you are so replaceable. Even when you think you're not replaceable, really, in most industries, you're very replaceable. They can fire you and move you out and get somebody else in. Does that always happen? No. And I know that there are some just obvious terrible examples out in the real world beyond comics. Now, the reason why comics is such a unique industry, it's more like Hollywood than it is like the rest of the world. It is its own bubble. There are a few reasons. One is because you have people that have a massive amount of power. Even in a small industry like comics, the power doesn't come from all of the money that is in comics. It comes from the desire for everyone else's desire to work in comics. And so if they feel like you can give them a door into the industry, they're going to do anything they can to get in. Now, this again works two ways. If somebody is forcing you or suggesting that you do something inappropriate in order to get into the comic book industry, that person needs to change their ways. That's bad. Okay, that is very bad. That's an obvious statement right there, right? On the other hand, if someone else is offering inappropriate favors to get into the comic book industry, that's also bad. I feel like this is obvious, but the way that the comic book industry handles this is just insane. So I wanted to be very skeptical of most of the names on the list. I know that there are some people on the list that are self-admitted, uh, you know, sickos that have done some terrible things, that admitted to some terrible things. Uh, but as I listened to Perch, he made some good points, and that is that the HR departments of these publishers are knowingly not doing something about it when there are complaints, like not going through some kind of a due process. And I feel like that's where a bit of the disconnect comes from me, because more often than not, I think systems generally work. Like and I've seen this happen, in my own professional experience outside of comics. I've seen this work where people have individuals have blatantly sexually harassed women, and those people have gone through the process with HR and they have lost their job. I can think of a few examples. This happens. They do get punished. My assumption that the comic book industry works also that way, or should work that way, is just not reality. Okay, as Perch kind of pointed out here, and they have a lot of power. They also have this, talent. The replaceability of some people in the industry, it genuinely is like Warren Ellis. Where are you going to get another Warren Ellis, right? Because you start getting into the names, right? Their name sells books. They sell books. They make money. They get jobs because of their name. And often a lot of these creators are not tied to a single publisher or a single HR department. They're still freelancers. So they're doing a book here, they're doing a book there. They are their own HR department in many cases. How do you fix this? I don't know. I just want to say, like, don't be a creep. Like, meet women in a normal way. Like, don't be a weirdo about it. At the same time, should Twitter be the place that these grievances come out? And why do they come all out at the same time? I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because the problem is it's pushing towards social consequences rather than legal consequences. I would much rather, if somebody has committed a crime, they suffer legal consequences. The last thing I want to do is defend somebody that has actually done something terrible to another human being. I don't want to defend that, because I don't do that kind of stuff, right? I want to be able to get into comics, to get my books sold, to be just thriving in the industry because of my work, because of my professionalism, because the way I treat people, so many other things. I don't want it to have anything to do with outside favors. Now, the flip side of this, you go all the way around the circle here. There have been a lot of criticisms of people getting into the industry in unfair ways. All right. If this problem really is as widespread as right now Twitter is making it out to be, there's a bigger problem on hand, I think. And a lot of that is that there is some idea that there's a back door to getting into the industry, and that is if you're willing to do a little this for a little that. It's messed up. So HR departments need to figure this out. I don't think that Twitter is the right place to do it. However, I mean, if you genuinely went to HR, what happens? I mean, how do you solve this problem? I don't think, again, and there's a big list of names. I would not be shocked at all. I would expect that there are going to be some names listed on this list of evil people going around that are probably genuinely innocent people that have been caught up in this naming, all right, finger pointing. I absolutely, I think everybody should be dealt with as an individual, and you kind of go from there. Having said that, if this is really a problem and it's so believable to so many people, and I keep hearing stories, I've actually I hear stories I can't confirm, but I hear stories from very individual people that have done similar things, and I don't understand it. It's about comics. Meet women in regular ways, or men, whatever. Don't make it about I will do you this favor for you for this. It's power. Power corrupts, I guess. um I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. How do you solve this problem? And I encourage you to check out Perch's video on it. It gave me a slightly different perspective and made me sort of pause and think. My initial gut knee-jerk reaction is always, I think that they're lying because it appears to be like so much for social points. There could be some of that, absolutely, but I think where there are true cases, HR should be involved. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to. All right, so thanks very much. Let me know where I'm wrong. Don't forget to check out Fatal on Indiegogo, the pre-launch page, and sign up. If you're on the mailing list, that's just as good. But we're just trying to get names any way we can. And then Downcast, Rise, and Fall. We're just working on pre-press stuff. This is going to the printer very, very soon. Just working on some specifics. But we're almost at $37,000. Cannot wait to get this shipped out to everyone. Thank you so much for your support, and I will see you next time.